Welcome, everyone, to episode 399 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
Today's topic is going to be it's actually topical for once. It's Devil May Cry 5. Usually we like to give games a couple weeks to play before we do a review episode, but I know Will put in a significant amount of time on Devil May Cry 5. I know Eric put in a significant amount of time with Devil May Cry 5. So yeah, we're going to talk about it, even though it just came out last Friday, was it?
Yeah, last Friday.
Okay.
When's the last time we've had a topical episode?
I don't know. Like I said, we usually like to give it a couple weeks, especially the type of games we like to play. They're games that you need to spend a little more time with. I couldn't tell you the last one that we did a very quick
So it's been like
turnaround
2 years, probably.
No, we probably did one last year at some point. I would have to look and see, but I'm sure we did one last year. A lot of times indie games too, because they're not super long, we can do right away.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so that's the main topic. Does anyone have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
That's all I've been playing.
Okay. Will?
I do. Yeah, I've actually been playing a lot of video games recently. So I'll talk about Let's Go Eevee being a game that I played. I'll talk about Hollow Knight very briefly. And then I think that's probably it other than Devil May Cry, because that's kind of what I've been playing the most of has been Devil May Cry.
Okay. I will be talking about Starlink Battle for Atlas, which I started today. So,
Oh, nice.
I'm excited to talk about that one. But that's all I have to tease for later on in the episode. Let's get right into Devil May Cry 5. So we're at different points too with this series. Once again, Eric, this is your first experience with Devil May Cry, right?
Yes, never played it before.
Okay, you played at least DMC with that's 4, right? Is that considered Devil May Cry 4?
No, so Devil May Cry 4 came out a while ago. The DMC game that came out in, I think it was either 2012 or 2013, was a reboot of the series, but
Okay.
nothing in that game stuck. That's like its own weird standalone.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
that was the only one I played. Did you play any of the other Devil May Cries? I know you played that one, but in addition to that, did you?
I've been meaning, because they put the Devil May Cry collection out where all of the games are in one game, but I never ended up playing it.
Okay.
So this is my first canon Devil May Cry game.
Gotcha. I know there was complaints about Dante's hair in DMC, so
I actually fought with somebody at work about that today. Again.
now you have an opinion on it, right? Or
Yeah,
lack of
and I was
opinion.
that game was awesome. Why don't you like that game? And I don't get his answer, but whatever.
Okay. So yeah, well let's talk about it. I've heard both glowing reviews from games media, but also you guys talking a lot about how much you like it. So let's talk about it. Will, start with you.
Yeah, so I will get right off the bat, and say how much I love Devil May Cry 5. This game is so much fun to play. I haven't played a game in a while where I just had so much fun playing it and laughing at the characters and just enjoying it. And what kind of got me to love it right off the bat was, and Eric, you can speak to this too, was when Nero in the beginning of the game jumped out of the van and they did that slow-mo where he was just killing a bunch of demons while the van was flying through the air. And it reminded me of Deadpool, because Deadpool's credits play that way, where it's just slow-mo Deadpool doing crazy stuff. But the cool thing is the game doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's not, the story is not meant to be deep. It's just supposed to be kind of a generic demon killing story, and the characters have a lot of especially Nero and Dante are two funny characters. They're meant to be funny, have a little comic relief, whereas V is a little bit more serious. He's kind of an edgelord in the game. So it's just so much fun, and the three characters play so differently too, which adds a lot of layers of gameplay to it, because you'll have V who fights, who does nothing himself. He just uses his own demons to do attacking for him, and then he'll finish him off. But then you got Nero, who will have guns and a sword, and then you got Dante, who kind of excels at everything. So there's a lot of really cool layers to gameplay, and if you when you get a little bit later in the game, you can pick who you want to play for a specific mission or two. So whoever you enjoyed playing as the most, you can just play as them. And I've really taken to V. V's been my favorite to play as. has awesome combos. So there's just a lot to the gameplay, and it's one of the more solid gameplay games that I've played in quite a while, honestly, because it just plays so solidly.
Yeah, that was the big hook for me for DMC too. Was that's what I heard about the game was, and from everyone was that how tightly it controls, how well it controls, how well you can once you learn the combos and stuff, how well you can chain attacks together, and that was the fun of it for me. So that's one of the hallmarks of the series from what I gather. As I said, I have no experience with the older games, so Corey's giving us a hard time in the chat.
What's he saying?
But anyway.
He asked if it was okay if he muted us so he could listen to his dog breathe.
Anywho,
Yes, Corey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Eric,
like what? Yeah.
well, let's hear what
My turn?
you like about the game because, I mean, I wasn't surprised that you liked it, but I'm glad you like it as much as you do. It's
Yeah,
nice.
I went in pretty blind, honestly.
Uh-huh.
I watched a trailer for it the other day. I was out of town this past weekend, and I was telling my buddy who I was with, I was like, yeah, I'm going home. I'm going to start this new video game. I never played one before. And he's like, oh, I haven't either. So we watched the trailer for it. I didn't even watch the trailer before. So we watched the trailer. And even after watching it, I was like, yeah, so I don't really know how to explain that game to you at all.
Uh-huh.
But I know Will was interested, and have always slightly been interested in Devil May Cry, so we ended up splitting it. But yeah, I think that right away, like Will was saying, that first video montage really sets the tone nicely for all the action that goes on in the game. There's a few things that really it draws me in, specifically me, and kind of like where I'm at these days with video games. The first thing would be the length of the missions, because this is a game that really respects your time, which I know we've talked about before being issues in other games for us. I don't stay up super late anymore, so I've got kind of a short window on a fairly nightly basis that I can play. So being able to knock out 2-3 missions a night gives that good satisfied feeling that you were able to accomplish something in the game. So the missions are, they're not short, but they're not long, and there's like a boss at the end of each one, so it wraps up nicely, and you're like satisfied. The game overall is only like 11 to 12 hours from what I've read, which is perfect for me. I'm not looking for any, crazy long games at this point, even though I'll still play them, but I'm never going to beat them. We were just talking about that before we got on with Red Dead. It's a game that I love, but, chances of me beating it are about slim to none. With this one, I'm absolutely going to beat it because I know I only have, a pretty short amount of time left. So that drew me in. As far as the game itself goes, it's a lot funnier than I was anticipating. Like Will was saying, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's just like a fucking wild goth, like
it's
crazy experience.
It's shitty action movie, the video game, right?
Yeah, but like so well done.
Yeah.
It's so shitty that it's not shitty.
Right.
I don't know if I don't even know if I believe that it's shitty because it's so good. Like the humor is so well done. The characters,
and, like whenever,
go ahead.
Like when V talks, it's just like he's so edgy.
V is one of my favorite video game characters that I've come across. Characters, and people that have listened to us for a long time know that like characters don't really stick with me, and I tend to lean more like on competitive games. So story-driven games don't really do a lot for me, but not that this is super story-driven, but the characters don't ordinarily stick with me. But V is really great. He is absolutely my favorite character in the game, and I love playing with him because his fighting style, or lack thereof, is so great. And we'll kind of talk about what his fighting style is, but what's that, Will?
Well, what I was gonna say is what I really like is how, as I brought up, he's an edgelord, but I mean he's got that crow that runs its mouth the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like super obnoxious, and
him and his crow bicker with each other.
Yeah. So it's like a funny like dichotomy between the two characters that's always going on because like V's silent and like doesn't say much, but the crow is so stupid.
Is he the book that he carries with him? Is it a Bible? of some sort, or is it like his kind of Bible?
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay. That's all
It's
right.
basically, it just has to do with demon stuff.
Okay, so he carries this book with him, and I remember right before, like, I don't remember if it was a boss battle or I think it was a boss battle. He like reads a passage out of the book, and like, the thing is he doesn't really even fight. So it's funny that he like reads these badass passages out of this book like he's about to kick somebody's ass, and then he just calls on his like pets to go fight for him. But he's still kind of badass. I don't know. It's weird. Like Will said, he's an edgelord. But so yeah, the characters are fantastic. So that's another thing that draws you in. The gameplay, again, like Will said, I will reiterate, the gameplay is so good. It reminds me a lot of Bayonetta. But I would put this far and above any Bayonetta game that I've ever played. Just as I've said before, when we talked about Bayonetta, the world itself didn't really do too much for me, but I think in Devil May Cry, it's a lot cooler. It's a lot better to look at, a lot more fun to like roam around and look for stuff. But the gameplay and unlocking your abilities and things like that, and performing combos, especially with V, because you're controlling, I think you get 3 animals at one point, but right now I only have 2. So I'm controlling 2 characters at once, basically. So, balancing that, and then you end up kind of fighting with him a little bit to kill people. So you actually end up controlling 3 people in the battle. So it can be a lot to manage at first, but once you end up learning the different combinations and things like that, it's just so satisfying. Like, and the game does a great job of making you feel rewarded too during battle, because it has like a ranking system of your style points. Which is kind of funny too, because you're just like these goths, and your fighting style is being rewarded for, like, I guess the combos that you're
how cool it is
together,
how stylish you are,
and
how edgy it is.
And also what I like about that too is it'll go, like, the game will say what the rank is, so it'll be like this weird cheesy 80s movie narrator going,
apocalyptic.
Yes, sexy style, like stuff like that while you're fighting, and just like it's yelling at you while you're doing it, and it's just like everything about it is so great.
Yeah. And like when you get up to the highest level, it's like Savage is the highest level, and it just starts like popping with this gold S on your screen, and like if you keep going, I can't remember, I only did it one time where I got like to the 3rd level. I can't remember what it said, but I was like, it just is so rewarding, because you're just like, oh man, you're nailing these combos left and right, killing these guys, and it's super rewarding. The combat.
And another thing the game does really well is actually the enemy design too, because there's some really awesome looking demons that you fight.
They're all fantastic. Will and I actually, the one that you texted us about, Will, that's the one that's been my favorite.
Yeah, the like scissor demon or whatever.
I remember when she first came up on the screen, I was like, damn, that is a fucking awesome monster.
Because I think it's Nero who fights at first, and Nero's like, so you want me to follow you, huh? Well, let's go do it then. And then like he just beats the crap out of the scissor demon.
Yeah.
But there's actually 2 other really awesome boss fights, Eric, that I can't wait for you to get to.
Yeah, boss fights are great too. It's such an awesome game. I think those are the things that really have pulled me into it.
Okay. Beardless says V builds up his super by reading edgelord poetry, which Twitter would call a mood.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you get into describing like how the controls work a little bit for people that may not be familiar with the series but might be interested in it.
Yeah, so I'm playing on Xbox. So what the game does is, so they'll be, I'm trying to remember the buttons now. Y is on top.
Yeah.
X is on the left, and B is on the right, right?
Yep. A is on the bottom.
Okay, so A is on the bottom. That's obviously jump. And then you got your X button, which shoots, for Nero and Dante, shoots the gun. For V, will use his crow. So that's like one attack that you can use. And then the Y button will be like the sword, the jaguar or lion or whatever it is that V has. And then the the short range weapon that Dante uses. So that's kind of what you do, and then different. Like if you hold RB, that's your lock on, so you can lock on to the target. So if you're locked on, and then you press forward or back on the left stick, or X and Y, like that'll do a specific combo starter for like different characters. And then like if you do it with the other button, it'll do a different sort of combo. B, Eric, is usually the. I'm trying to remember what B does. I button mash while I play it, so.
Oh yeah. It lends itself well to button mashing. B for Nero is his robotic arm attack.
Okay, yeah.
And for V, it's his finish.
Okay.
So if you hit B with Nero, with V, basically you have your animals attack the monsters, and when the time comes and they've drained all their health, V finishes them off. His animals are not able to kill anything. So V, you hit B and he like teleports via his Jaguar to the enemy and does like a nasty finishing move. It's really awesome because there's such a variety of them, because like sometimes they're up in the air when it happens, sometimes they're on the ground, and there's such a variety to his death blows. It's fantastic. So he actually does fight a little bit with his cane, but
it reminds me of the God of War finishers, but better.
Yeah, it's really satisfying when he finishes monsters off.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what the triggers do.
The triggers.
It switches between. So for Nero and Dante, I think it switches between guns and swords.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that from DMC. It switching I believe the triggers switched weapons that you were using.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that how you change Nero's arm?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I haven't been doing that.
Neither have I, and I've just been button mashing like crazy, and like haven't even dived into the depth that the fighting can have.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do combos, but it's, it can be tough depending on how many enemies are in the area.
And the thing about the game is they don't give you the combos all right off the bat. Like when you fight the first time, you're pretty basic because you don't have any skills unlocked. Because when you're doing these battles, you get these red blood orbs that you get from killing things, and they're throughout the world. So when you collect those, that goes into like a total pool where you can, like, it's basically the game's currency where you can use that to then buy skills for the different 3 characters. Everybody uses shared like currency, so you kind of have to divide up how you want to spend it on each character. So you unlock more combos by using the different abilities that you buy with your whatever, like, because you can upgrade your sword, your gun, your overall skills, and like your like powerful abilities, and that's what you'll use. And then like, so as you progress through the game, you can do more and more combos. It's a lot easier to get the higher S ranks, or the SS rank, or the SSS. So because now, like, when I'm playing, I'm having a pretty easy time, especially with V, to get the triple S rank through every battle that I do, because he's just so.
It's a lot easier with V, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're constantly attacking. Like, you don't need to like run around as Nero or Dante to try to like attack other people, because like V has so much range with all those characters that he's using.
Yeah, and like with Nero, you have to kind of like rev up your sword. It has basically like a motorcycle handle on it that you rev up to power it up. It's pretty cool actually, but I just find V to be like a lot more fast paced. Not that the Nero isn't, but I like the pace of V's fighting abilities a lot more.
Wait till you get to Dante. He has a motorcycle weapon that's so cool.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of the basics on the controls. Poorly explained, but that's the basics.
It's tough to explain, especially because the movesets are different for all the characters. But
no, you gave us a taste.
The combos are actually fairly simple if you look at them. Like the abilities that you unlock, most of the time it's like press Y once and then press it repeatedly. Right. That's one of the ones for the Jaguar. So like that's super easy. Or like you have to hit lock onto the target and then hit forward and X at the same time. It's super easy to do a lot of them. It's just, getting the timing right to string them together.
Yeah, and I feel like in the last one too, they had easy combos, but then if you wanted to delve deeply into the combos, there was up to like 8 or 10 button combos that you could do if you chose to, right?
Yeah, but most of them are like the same button.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the most
Yeah,
part.
Okay.
it seems easier to fight in this one than it did in the other
DMC.
DMC that we played. Yeah,
Okay.
that we played, Dan.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to know about the game?
No, I mean, I think you covered the basics pretty well.
Oh, you know what else is really cool? So it's kind of like before you get to a boss fight, there's a phone booth, and it's basically letting you use the currency that you've gained throughout the mission. And what happens is it's Nico, right?
Yeah, Nico.
Nico is the female compatriot of the guys, and she's like an engineer, and she builds robotic arms for Nero, and she kind of runs the upgrade shop in her dirty old van, and every time you call the phone, her van comes like crashing through the world in these crazy ways.
Yeah.
And you can go and upgrade before boss fights, but it's great. Like, just watching it come in is even cool because you're always like, oh, how's she gonna show up this time in that shitty old van?
Nice.
Yeah, like you'll be inside like this giant cathedral with like through layers of a dungeon that you've gone through. Then you'll call her and she'll just like crash the floor, and like Nero won't be paying attention. He'll have to like jump onto the van to avoid it. Like, it's really cool how they do it.
Yeah, and she always has something witty to say when she gets there.
Yeah.
My only complaint is I don't like what they did with her voice.
Made it like a redneck.
Super country. It just, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't fit. It sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
It's a bizarre voice to pick for the goth edgelords that are Dante, Nero, and V.
Well, and maybe they were trying to do the like contrast to that, but I don't know. I don't think whoever did it very well. Maybe I'm the only one, but
yeah, I'm with you. I don't ever really like the country voice to begin with anyway, so I'm definitely with you. The one thing I do want to say is that this game is nonsense, but in the best way, because I look at it, the last game that I played that was nonsense, and that was Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts takes itself very seriously, whereas this game doesn't, and that's what makes it more fun.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's a good type of nonsense, and
nonsense
not like what
the best way possible is correct.
Yep, and it's just not like I have no clue what's going on. Like, this is the most convoluted thing that I ever played, like Kingdom Hearts, whereas this is just like, I don't know what the main plot of the story is other than to kill this demon.
It's just wild. It's just wild demon hunting, like over the top, crazy action with these funny characters who are super edgy.
Yeah.
And I would say...
Nero,
go ahead.
I was going to say, Dante and Nero have this weird rivalry, but no one knows why V's even around.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
But go ahead, Eric.
No, I was going to say, this is honestly one of my favorite games that I've played in a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is definitely a Game of the Year contender.
Oh, for sure.
Front runner at this point?
For me, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think of what else came out this year that would compete with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be New Dawn, Anthem, Wargroove. Like, none of those games would be front runners.
No.
Oh, that's definitely a front runner for me right now.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It came out of nowhere. Very, very nice surprise. I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
It was not on my radar.
Yeah.
And then Will was like telling me the reviews, and I was like, fuck it, let's just split it.
Yeah, because I feel like I didn't hear much about it other than it being announced, and then some stuff trickled out, and then it came out. Or no, Will's like, hey, Devil May Cry is reviewing really well, and I was like, oh. It's like, probably got 8s or 9s, and I looked and it was 10s, 9.5. So I was like, holy crap, this is.
I can see why.
Something you should pay attention to.
Yeah.
So
good. I think Dan is gonna love it when he plays it.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for you to play it, Dan.
Yeah.
I
was telling Corey, he was asking us, he's like, "Do you guys think I would like this game?" And I said to him, I go, "I don't know why anybody wouldn't like it." There's like, I can't imagine what the complaints would be. I won't have it. I won't listen to it.
Same.
Complaints would be silly.
And Corey liked the last first Devil May Cry game. He played the same DMC that me and Dan did. So, yeah, I think Corey 100% would like this game, too.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's everything that Corey hates, just like edgelord goth metal music.
Yeah, but
like,
that's the other thing. The music. Oh, the music is so good. It's so like stupid. I love it.
It's either metal or this like weird dubsteppy sort of like soundtrack going on, and it's so
it's great because when like a boss or like a mini boss or a new monster appears, it'll do this like dramatic cut. The camera goes right up to the boss like really dramatically and shows the name of the creature, and then like this metal music starts playing. Yeah. Kind of like Doom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Big fights. Yeah. Just not quite that metal. Like it's like he said, it's more like a metal electronic music, but it's perfect. Yeah. It's just perfect.
Honestly,
it's very dramatic.
Yeah, they do a good job making everything dramatic and funny.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to beat this game. I'm at mission 16 of 20 right now.
Are you doing the secret missions?
So the secret missions, how those work, are in each war. So when you're doing a mission, there's a secret mission in there as well. And what that is you have to like look at this design and line it up right, and then you spawn into this like secret mission world. I've only done one of those so far.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't
probably
seen
that
where
first
the other
one
ones
that
are.
it like walks you through, right?
Yeah, that it tells you.
I honestly forgot.
Yeah, me too. Until you brought up the secret missions when we were texting about it last night, I forgot that they were in the game.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm actually trying to beat it tomorrow night because I'm gonna let my friend Dakota borrow my Xbox so he can play it because he's a huge Devil May Cry fan. He's played a lot of them, so that's kind of what sparked me to play through it and beat it. And once I started playing it, I couldn't stop playing.
Yeah, great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Any other thoughts?
No. You should definitely play that game.
Play it. Highly recommended from us.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I only recommend it based on your guys' and everyone else's recommendations.
You'll love it, Dan. I'm very confident.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, looks like Tampa Bay took the lead, so that's good.
Woo! Go Lightning.
Still Vasilevsky. Nah. Not a great game. But anyway.
You're going to win.
All right, let me call up Nibblebits here. I had a couple. Will, do you have any Nibblebits?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Hold on, let me look at my phone here real quick.
All right, well, I'll go first then. I didn't know if you maybe had them ready, because I have mine ready right here. Let's see. All right, so my first one is that, yes, Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to PC. That was the big news of the week. I read a little bit into this, and apparently it's not all coming out at once. I think they're going to be released like individually as they become available, so they can get them out faster. But also, Halo Reach is being added to the Master Chief Collection. I guess the existing one on Xbox, but also will eventually be coming to PC. It's going to be available on Steam, too, for those interested in buying it on Steam, which, unless I can play them for free through Games Pass on my Xbox app, I will definitely be buying them on Steam.
It's on Game Pass.
No, I know. I'm talking about for computer. If I can play them on my computer through the Xbox thing, you know what I mean. The Xbox app. I hope so, because then I won't need to buy them again. But I will buy them again if I need to, because I'm very excited to play them on PC.
I can't figure out why I'm so excited for this, because I'm going to play Halo 3 so much on my PC. But why don't I just sit and do it on my Xbox?
I'm not excited. I fucking suck at that game. I have installed that a couple of times thinking, oh yeah, sounds fun. I go on there and just get my ass handed to me, and I'm like, this couldn't be less fun.
Yeah.
But if you're just playing the single player, then...
Yeah, I that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to revisit the campaigns, and I'm actually glad they added Halo Reach again, because that was my favorite campaign other than the first one to play through. So I'm excited about that one. No word yet on release dates or anything, so we'll keep you posted when we hear a little bit more about it. But that was big news. People were so excited they started sending the development studio pizzas, like ridiculous amount of pizzas. They were so
awesome.
happy to see Halo coming back to PC, I should say. So there's that. Also, the Xbox is now able to stream PC games to Xbox. So like a Steam Link, essentially. I read a little bit into this one too. It doesn't really work all that well just yet. I think they have some bug squashing they have to do, but yeah, controller works, so you can play Steam games, you can play, you play games, Origin games, whatever. It all should work. So, and then my last one, Google is going to be present at next week's Game Developer Conference. There's also going to be joined by id Software and Ubisoft. Not sure exactly what that means, but they're probably going to be talking about their vision for gaming. I don't know if anyone saw, but they released a concept for, I don't know if it's the official controller that they're going to have for whatever game thing that they're doing, or if it's just a concept, but they unveiled that. They also hired Jade Raymond, who's, you guys are familiar with Jade name. Raymond. Yeah, she was instrumental in Assassin's Creed.
Yes, that's right.
But they just hired her, so she's going to be heading up some sort of game thing at Google. So I'll be interested to see what they ultimately end up doing. If they release a box or if it's just an app that you download. I'm interested at the very least.
Oh yeah, me too.
So, Will, what do you got?
So, I forgot. I don't have the nibble bits, but I can say what they are off the top of my head. But To the Moon creator is releasing another game. It's in the same. I think it's a spiritual successor to the Moon and Finding Paradise, but I think it's a little bit different. So that's going to be coming out, and also Team Heart Machine, who made Hyper Light Drifter, showed off their most recent game. I wish I could have the name. I think it's Solar Ash something or other.
Yeah, I saw the little GIF that they released of it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming out, and also Turtle Rock, who made the Left 4 Dead games and also Evolve, announced a new zombie shooter that's coming out, and I don't understand why it's not Left 4 Dead 3. Like, why do they need to do another zombie shooter that's going to be like Left 4 Dead, but not call it Left 4 Dead?
Maybe because Valve doesn't want them to. They can't have a third game.
But like, yeah, but why are they so weird about it?
I don't know. They're just not going to release any 3s.
So they're going to reboot every one of their big series is just like under different names.
Yeah, like Portal will be something different. That's what I would like to see most is Portal 3. I know a lot of people want Half-Life 3, but I want Portal 3.
Half-Life 3 is going to suck if that ever comes out.
There's no way it could live up to any expectations.
Yeah,
no.
I agree.
It's like making another Dumb and Dumber. Why would you ever do that?
They tried.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, they try. Of course they did, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Go ahead, Will.
Anyway.
But that's it for my nibble bits, yeah.
Okay. Eric, how's your week?
Good, Dan. Actually did something really fun this past weekend. I mentioned earlier I was out of town. I met a friend of mine who had recently moved to Virginia Beach, and another friend of mine from work. We went to see Dropkick Murphys
Nice.
in Richmond, which is a band that I have been wanting to see forever. So I was very excited to see that they were coming near me, and they did not disappoint. It was one of the best shows I've ever been to.
Uh-huh.
It was just so good. I did some research afterwards. It turns out there's 2 singers in the band.
Yeah.
The one singer has been with the band the entire time. The other singer has been there for all but 2 years, and then all the other members are like a lot younger than them because they're both in their 50s.
Oh, are they that old?
Yeah,
Holy
they've
cow.
been around since the 90s.
Wow.
They're if not earlier. Yeah, they've been around a very long time. But man, did they put on a great show. It was like we started out. We went to there's an Arsenal bar. So Arsenal was playing Manchester United that day. It was a big match, and so I've been meaning to go to the Arsenal bar down in Richmond for a while. So we started out there. And Arsenal 1 bar was really cool. It's called Gus's. If you're ever in the area and you're interested, check that out. So after that, we found a barcade down there. I can't remember what I think it's called Circuit something. So we went there, but it's an arcade, but they also serve beer. It's a system where you pour your own beer. You get like a card. You put your card in this little slot, and you pull the thing, and it's served by the ounce. So you're charged, depending on the beer. Cheapest beer was 20 cents an ounce. PBR was 25 cents an ounce. So you just pour your beers, and at the end of the day, you take your card over, and they charge you however much you poured. But they check in on you every 32 ounces. You have to go over and like check in. I went over and I was like, yeah, hey, the machine told me I needed to come over and check in. And he's like, yeah, man, just making sure you're not too fucked up. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm good.
So he's like, all right, sounds good. So we drank there. We drank at the Arsenal bar. I just had a good steady buzz going all day.
Nice.
And so we get to the concert, and there was actually 3 opening acts. We missed the first one. Second one, we only caught one song, thank God, because they were terrible. And then the main opener was called Booze and Glory, and they were fucking awesome. They are from London, England, and they had been on hiatus. I kind of looked into them a little bit, but they're like super, like, very sing-along-y punk music. Like all of their songs had like big sing-alongs. So kind of like Dropkick Murphys, but very like English style, old style punk with a lot of sing-along sections.
Okay. I'm interested, Eric.
You would like him.
Yeah.
I think of all of us, Dan, you and I probably would like him the most.
Okay.
I don't think Will would probably like him. Corey might.
What's the name again? Booze and
Glory.
Booze and Glory. Okay, I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget.
Yeah, they put on a fucking great show. They were a really perfect like warm-up band for Dropkick Murphys. Yeah, so they're really good. And then Dropkick Murphys was about to come on, and like I was just feeling it. I was drunk, and they turn all the lights out, and they have whatever their like entrance music was, and I was just like so fucking pumped to see Dropkick Murphys. And like these 2 older dudes that were next to me, they were probably in their 50s too, and like they'd never seen them before either, and we had all just like wanted to see them for so long. And the one guy was there with his 17-year-old son, and I was like, this is just fucking awesome. Like it's just so great.
Did they play Foggy Dew to come in? That was what they played when they were here. It's a Sinead O'Connor song, or it's a classic. Like,
I don't
Irish
know.
Song.
I don't know, Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's what they played before, and everyone like the anticipation just built as the song kept going, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I cannot wait for this to start."
It probably was then. Yeah, because it was like that, and I was just getting so fucking amped. And then all of a sudden, the spotlight comes on, and it's just the bagpiper up on a stand by himself, and he starts playing like that, like Braveheart-ish, like going to war bagpipe. I know that it's named something. I just can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But I was like, you've never been so fucking pumped in your life.
Yeah.
And they just come out and just rock.
Yeah.
Do you know the song "The Boys Are Back"?
Oh yeah.
That's what they came out and played right away, and
beautiful.
Oh my god. And then so at the end, the whole thing's just super high energy. I first time I've been in a mosh pit, and I can't even tell you how many years. And then they closed with "Kiss Me, I'm Shit-Faced," and they brought all of the females in the crowd up on the stage with them, and they all sang like "Kiss Me, I'm Shit-Faced," and then went right into "Dirty Deeds" by AC/DC, and that's how they closed.
Nice.
And brought like a shit ton of people up on stage. It was just fucking great, way better than I even imagined it was gonna be. Definitely one of the best shows I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So I had a fun weekend.
Oh man,
Richmond.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that does sound awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm actually on vacation from work this week. It's kind of a staycation other than that.
Yeah, nice.
And of course I got sick on my vacation. But weather's been great. Got to go outside today. Took the sun out and did some stuff outdoors. And we're going to see Mumford & Sons Saturday night, who I used to be a pretty big fan of. Their first 2 albums I really, really liked, and then the last 2 are terrible. So I looked up the set list, and unfortunately, there's a lot of new stuff on there.
Sure.
So I'm not nearly as excited to go see Mumford and Sons, but it will be nice because my wife and I don't get to go out and do too much together these days, so we're going to that one together.
Nice.
So that'll be nice to do this weekend to cap off my staycation. And watching a lot of basketball. It's that time of the year. Oh, and free agency football, the Bills making a lot of moves.
Yeah, I was going to ask you who'd they go after?
Yeah, they got so they desperately needed receivers, so they signed Cole Beasley from the Cowboys and John Brown from the Ravens.
Oh wow.
So basically all of their receivers are like smallish, super fast guys, and Beasley's the kind of underneath guy. So I think they're definitely planning on stretching the field with Josh Allen's arm next year.
Sure.
Hopefully he can hit him. That's my concern, but
right.
I guess we'll see how that goes.
And
but they also signed
throw it long and deep and let them run underneath it.
Yeah, just let them run under it because that's John Brown. Yeah. So, they did not publicly get snubbed by Antonio Brown. That guy's a douchebag. They interviewed the Bills GM today. The reason I said that, there was a comment in the chat about it. They interviewed the Bills GM today and asked him about that, and he was like, yeah, that really pissed me off because people are talking about how players don't want to come here to Buffalo, and he's like, we just brought 8 players in here. We probably could have signed more than that if we had wanted to. And he goes, it's just absolute nonsense, and people don't have all the facts when they say stupid things like that. He was like visibly pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Like people met the new players at the airport today with chicken wings. Where else do you get that?
Yeah, you don't.
Like,
no way.
You don't get that other places.
I was actually pretty annoyed with Antonio Brown with that whole
Fuck
thing.
Him. Yeah. I hope he breaks his fucking leg this year.
I mean, don't demand to be traded, and then when you get traded, be like, I'm not going there.
No, and you know what? I'm glad he didn't. Either way, before he was just a douche in my mind, which he is now. Even before that, like, that was going to be a nightmare because he wouldn't have been happy. He wouldn't have been happy with Josh Allen.
Yeah, no, you're right, for sure.
If he's not happy with Ben Roethlisberger, he ain't gonna be happy with Josh Allen. That was gonna be so I'm actually really happy that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I like the moves they made. The best one is probably the center they got from the Chiefs, who's supposed to be really, really good. Really good pass protector, which they desperately needed. So yeah, and the other guys are kind of depth guys, but I think they've signed 8 guys so far.
Wow.
Filled a lot of holes, so the draft they can almost at this point almost go best player available. I'm interested to see because a lot of mock drafts had him taking receiver from, I think he's from Ole Miss, DK Metcalf.
Oh no.
Don't like him?
He's flashy, but his 3-cone time was worse than Tom Brady's 3-cone time.
I thought he lit up the combine.
He ran a fast 40-yard dash and benched a lot, but his 3-cone time, he's got bad hands and he can't run routes very well. I'm actually surprised that people are that high on him.
Oh yeah, most of the mock drafts I've seen had him going to the Bills at 9.
If your 3-cone time and shuttle time are slower than like Tom Brady, like,
so he doesn't have explosiveness. Is that what that is?
So he has explosiveness because he can run super fast, but he just can't
change direction.
He can't change direction. He can just run in a straight line.
I did read some stuff about his route running could use some polish, so maybe that's the changing direction thing.
Yeah, and his hands aren't great either because I was watching some highlights for them, and he was very awkwardly catching balls. Like it wasn't like smooth when you watch a player like any of those like good slot receivers or like any of those deep threats, like, an Antonio Brown or an Odell Beckham, like, he struggles to catch passes.
Okay. Well, now they don't necessarily need to take a receiver in the first round, so I'm kind of interested to see where they go there. I almost kind of hope they take an offensive tackle or a D lineman, one or the other.
I also think there's probably better receivers in the draft, too.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't watch much college, as you know, so I honestly have no idea, but...
Yeah,
that's what the mock drafts have been saying. But I am excited. I like the moves that they've made.
Is McCoy still their running back?
Yeah, and they signed Frank Gore.
Really?
They're a touch old at running back. Frank Gore's going to be 36.
I was going to say he's been in the league forever.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I think they still have Chris Ivory too, who's also a team.
Yeah, in his 30s.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to draft a young running back at some point too.
Okay.
They have to. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I mean, if they stay healthy, they'll be effective.
Gore had a good season last year with the Dolphins, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So.
Okay.
But that's all that's been going on with me, Dan.
What about you, Will? What do you got for us?
So we celebrated our mom's birthday, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we
this
did.
weekend by retreating to the lovely town of Deposit, New York, at a nice farmhouse. So we went up there. The whole family was around. Our sister and her son flew in, so that was good to hang out with them because I hadn't seen them in probably 2 years because I didn't get to go to Canada this summer. So that was good. Played a lot of video games this week. The good thing about only taking one class is I have a lot more time, and I also won't be employed here starting next week, potentially. So I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands as of right now. So I've just been kind of filling it by playing video games. And I actually started this challenge with one of my friends where we're going to play our backlog games that we want to play. So I've been working on my way through backlog games on top of trying to play new stuff. So like I said, I've been doing a lot of video gaming, hanging out with family, doing school, working out. As Eric said, the NFL free agency has just been so exciting for me to keep up with. So I've been doing that on top of the playoff races for hockey. Have been like sports right now are really good, and it's been very enjoyable. So, but other than that, that's about it. Really.
Do you want to talk about the trade?
The Odell trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I really like it for both teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know Giants fans are really, really, really upset, and they should be because Odell's a transcendent talent. But the thing with Odell is they were annoyed with him for a while. He complained, blah 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 blah. They said screw it. They decided to pay him to shut him up, and maybe like he would start, not being vocal in interviews and stuff like that. And then within 4 games during the season, he did an interview with Lil Wayne where he was trashing the team and then the coaching staff. So like, I don't know, like I think he's obviously a great talent, an unbelievable wide receiver. From what I've heard, he's actually really well liked in the locker room, but the Giants are in just such a bad spot right now. And they traded him to the Browns, who have probably one of the best offensive rosters in the NFL. The Giants got back Jabril Peppers, who I'm a huge fan of, so that kind of helps them out at safety because they didn't want to pay Landon Collins like $5 trillion that he wanted, and they got some draft picks. I think the Giants are going to be okay.
I thought too. Part of one of the reasons why they traded Beckham is he was obviously one of the offensive leaders. Do you think they wanted to essentially hand the offense off to Barkley? Like, this is your team now.
Oh, boys,
like,
they're tearing it down. It's full rebuild here.
Yeah.
So the biggest loser is Barkley, in my opinion.
I feel so bad for him.
He's the team right now.
Yeah.
Eli Manning is awful. So if the Giants don't trade for either Josh Rosen or draft Dwayne Haskins, I think they need to be as bad as possible this year so they can get a top 2 pick so they can draft like Tua, Herbert, or I can't remember the other guy. It's in the draft the following year because really like
the guy from Clemson.
Yeah, the guy from Clemson, Lady Galadriel.
I love that guy, man. He's fun to watch.
He's good, and
Lady
Clemson
Galadriel
might win another national championship. So
I don't think the Giants are going to have to try too hard to get that pick.
Yeah, and I mean they signed Golden Tate today, and I don't.
Did they really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, why would Golden Tate want to go to the Giants? And he didn't even get that much money.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was like $9 million a year. I was like, why?
I guess my thought is when he went to the Eagles last season, I don't feel like he really did all that much. So maybe teams weren't super high on him. He's getting a little older.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's probably what it is. But yeah, they're full rebuild here. You got to tear it down. This is exactly what the Bills did because by trading him, they're actually taking a pretty big dead cap hit, like super big. The Bills had to do that a few years ago and got rid of all their big contracts, and that's how they got $90 million to spend this offseason. So it's going to be going to be a lean couple of years probably, but.
And I'm fine. I will say, if the Giants draft David Jones, the quarterback out of Duke, I'm going to buy a handgun because
everybody has Haskins going to them.
For whatever reason, the draft people say that the Giants really like David Jones because he has the intangibles. And I'm like, no, stop it.
No,
you can't draft a quarterback out of Duke.
You can't draft a quarterback based on intangibles. I feel like that comes like later, you know?
Yeah. Like,
draft talent. Draft talent.
Well, in the draft this year, Dwayne Haskins is far and above the most talented passer. So
who does he play for? I don't follow college that well either. So
he played at Ohio State.
Okay.
And actually, fun fact: Stephen A. Smith said that he wouldn't be a highly touted quarterback because he's too much of a running QB. And when I watched his 40 time, he ran a 5.02.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, he's slow.
Oh, does he even run?
No, he doesn't run. That's just
so. Stephen A. was off base.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, shocking.
Completely wrong. But that's really kind of it. I think, like I said, I like the trade for her.
You know what? When I first heard about it, I did like it, and then I listened to Around the NFL podcast today, and they kind of turned me the other way.
Yeah.
They were they went up one side of the Giants and down the other.
I mean, honestly, I think the Giants deserve to get a little heat for all of this because Gettleman flat out was just like, I'm not trading Beckham. Like
that's what they said. Yeah, they were talking. Yeah. They played the clip actually.
Yeah, and I get it, but I'm fine with the rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think their thing was they thought that I guess Gettleman had said he wasn't trading him unless he was blown away by an offer, and they were very surprised that that's the offer that blew them away.
That's actually a good point.
Because Beckham's probably top 2 receiver in the league.
Yeah,
probably
3 at worst.
Yeah.
And he's young, right?
Yeah, what is he,
20s? Oh, he's that young.
No, I think he's mid-20s, 25.
Yeah. Even still, he's and he's not all speed either, so he's gonna be good for a long time.
Yeah, Will's looking it up now.
Yeah.
Because I want to say he's no older than 23.
I don't know.
Hope you like sports tonight if you're tuning in.
Yeah.
Because
it's been a while since we've gotten deep into sports.
Yeah.
Because they said the Browns' best players on offense are 22, 21, 23, and 22.
Yeah.
They're all super young.
Very fun to watch.
Hold on, my internet is very slow today. Okay, so he's 26. Dan was right.
Okay.
Yeah, because most college players are 22 when they enter the league. 21, 22. Okay. Anything else, Will?
No, that's it.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything to share really either. Yeah. No. We're good. So, Eric, do you have to go?
I'm probably going to take my leave here, boys.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, right?
Always a pleasure. Yeah, absolutely.
Next week for the big episode 400.
Indeed.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, Will. I will start with what we played. So this past week, I beat Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Hey, Dan. Nice
Thank
work.
you.
What'd you think overall?
It was awesome. It was definitely an awesome game. Sad that it was over. Definitely sad that it was over. Really got to like the characters and the story. Few sad moments too. Definitely gets significantly more difficult the last 4 or 5 missions than the whole rest of the game.
Oh, really?
But I mean it's I guess to be expected. So. But yeah, it was an excellent game. It would definitely be top 3 or 4 of the games that I played last year. Probably top 3. If I was re-ranking my game of the year list from last year. So.
Okay.
So it was excellent.
That's my next Switch game that I'm going to get to.
Mm-hmm. It took me 47 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, which was
So you put some time. You put some time into it.
Put some time into it. That was largely because I had to do a little grinding at the end to upgrade my guys, and a few times I failed a mission and I had to start over. So
yeah,
that was what made up for the extra time. But yeah, it was definitely awesome. Yeah. So the game I started today was Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Nintendo Switch 2, which it's essentially the best Star Fox game ever made, because I got the Nintendo Switch version has Star Fox and Peppy and Falco and what's the frog's name?
Slippy.
Slippy. Yep, Slippy. That's it. So yeah, it's a Ubisoft game, and you can tell there's definitely a lot of Ubisoft game elements in there. But it's quite a good game, actually. I played a little bit in handheld mode, and I actually played on the TV in console mode for a little bit, which I actually played the entire 47 hours of Valkyria Chronicles entirely in handheld mode. So,
wow.
Yeah, I never once put it on the TV.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah. But yeah, the story's kind of nonsensical. You kind of crash land on a planet. There's this evil like force called Legion that I'm not sure what they're doing. They capture your like captain, and actually the Star Fox characters don't replace the main characters in the game. They're like kind of there helping along. So I play as the Star Fox characters, but they're helping the main story, helping the main characters in the story.
Okay, I got you.
Instead of completely replacing them. I don't think that would make much sense, but they did it pretty well that way. But yeah, it's as far as what the game's like, it's very much No Man's Sky light, which I've heard it described this way. Because there's atmospheric flight, you can go on the ground and fly around on the ground, almost like your ship is a tank. But then you can like take off and fly out into the solar system, and then from there you can go to different planets and fly into planets. It's got the whole mining thing. It's got scanning wildlife. There's different factions that you can raise your relationship with that has different benefits. But yeah, it's actually like quite a good game. It's very colorful, controls nicely. It took me a little while to get used to the ship control, but I finally did get the hang of it, and it's I'm hooked on it so far. I probably played 3, maybe 4 hours. So
how much space is in this game? A lot of space?
Yes, it's very big. All the planets are not planet sized like in No Man's Sky, but they're all definitely quite large, and there's lots to do on them.
Well, I forgot to bring this up in our week, Dan, but I've been super into space the last couple days.
Oh yeah.
Like I haven't been going to sleep at a decent hour because my schedule is be up till 3 or 4, sleep until 11, 12.
Nice.
So that's kind of that's what I've been doing. So like when I'm laying in bed at night, I've been watching YouTube videos on outer space. And my mind is just blown every night that I'm watching everything.
Yeah. So
I'm like really into space right now. So it sounds like this is a game that I would be very into right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it initially it was the whole Toys to Life thing too. So I wish I brought it down with me, but it came with like a Joy-Con grip like this, but it has the dock thing for the ship. The pilot, you can get different pilots and then parts to your ship. So it's the Toys to Life thing. I didn't really necessarily find any of that interesting, but you could still play the game like without any of that stuff. You could buy it digitally too, so you don't have to have any of that stuff, which is nice. But yeah, I really like Starlink so far. It's quite good. So.
Starlink is a recommend, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And I only got it was like $23. It came out when it came out in the fall. It was $75 new. Ooh. And yeah, I got it for $23 on Amazon. It's constantly on sale. It's definitely worth it for that little.
Yeah, especially for that cheap. That's crazy that it would start out at $75.
Yeah. So, and that's all I played. So, if you got anything, Will?
I'll start off with Hollow Knight. I actually beat the boss that I've been stuck on for 4 months, maybe.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Since the summertime, actually. And I don't know, how far did you get, Dan, in Hollow Knight?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've played it.
Do you remember the Crystal Cavern area?
Yeah.
So the Crystal Guardian was the boss that I got stuck on the second time you fight him, because he shoots that like laser beam and jumps all around sporadically, but also when you're fighting him, like lasers from the ceiling come down too, and you gotta like avoid those on top of his attacks and everything and hit him. So, like, I had a really hard time trying to beat him, and I actually don't even think he's that hard of a boss, like, overall within the grand scheme of the game, but I was stuck on him. But I finally beat him, so I can now kind of continue Hollow Knight, thank God.
Nice.
But what I played the most of was actually Let's Go Eevee, and I beat Let's Go Eevee as well.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you. So that game was so much fun to play. I enjoyed all of my time with it. I want to try to get all of the Pokemon and get the Pokedex complete, because I've seen every Pokemon but Mewtwo, and I'm actually where Mewtwo is right now, but I don't think I'm strong enough to like beat him to go try and catch him with my Master Ball. So I might have to leave there, but I have like 110 of the 150 Pokemon right now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm pretty close to being able to doing it. But the thing is, with my backlog challenge, I might put it off to the side for a little bit. And just kind of try and play some more stuff right now, because I did pretty much complete everything that I wanted to complete in that game.
Yeah, that's what I did with Pokemon 2. I put it on the back burner for now. That's something I'll revisit at some point, because I do want to do the whole Pokedex.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I have because I have a Starlink, and then probably after I finish Starlink, I'm going to do Gris for the Switch. But once I have like a dead period with the Switch, and where I don't have any new games, that's when I'll revisit some things. Because actually, Valkyria Chronicles 4 has a decent amount of endgame content too that I would like to revisit at some point too. So, and that's not a game I need to relearn how to play. Like, it's just a strategy game, so I'll remember everything I need to know to still be effective when I go back to it, even if it's a few months from now. So
yeah.
So you beat another game last week too. Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, New Dawn.
Have you beaten anything else besides Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Far Cry New Dawn? I'm updating the list right now.
No, I think those are the three. I'll be having DMC 5 next week, but other than that, no. Dan and I actually talked about, before we did Pond Hockey on Monday, that we want to do a Pokemon playthrough in anticipation for the newest generation. But we're trying to figure out how that's going to be possible.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a modded 3DS, so we can't record the videos for it. And there's no online ROMs because we do own all the games. So, so we can't record from a computer. So we don't know how we're going to do this if it even does happen.
Yeah.
But there is potential of that actually happening for people who like Pokemon or care about Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, like right now I'm playing Hollow Knight, playing Wardrobe, playing Far Cry 5, and I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins and Devil May Cry 5. So I've been playing all that stuff right now. The next game that I'm going to play after I complete Far Cry and Assassin's Creed is probably Mass Effect Andromeda, because I have not played that yet. So that'll be my next Xbox game. That's a backlog game, and then my Switch stuff will probably be like Valkyria Chronicles. So
okay, are you still getting The Division?
I have to talk to Eric about that. I might not get it this week, but maybe next week, because I only worked one day last week. So I only got paid for one day of work this week. So next week is when I'm going to get, like, the hours.
Oh, gotcha.
So, so if I do get it, I'm going to see if Eric wants it. I know he wants to wait for reviews, too. I think I'm leaning towards I'm going to get it regardless.
Okay.
If Eric wants to split it. So it would be next week if I do.
I've heard some good things about it.
Yeah, and I've been pro Ubisoft the last, 2 years.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm maybe I just do it and trust them. And that's what I might do. I liked The Division 1 a lot. I was bad at it, which is why I never beat it. But, yeah, I'm interested in The Division 2.
Yeah, I actually read... I don't remember where I read this specifically, so I can't give the writer credit, but they said it's the most complete looter shooter at launch that we've had since, Borderlands. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm very interested in getting this game for sure.
Yeah, I am also interested. I won't because me and Corey are getting Sekiro, and at the end of this month is the Yoshi's Crafted World is coming out, so I want to get that.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna hold off on the Division for now.
and like I wouldn't get it if I was into Anthem, but I'm waiting for Anthem to get its what together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably end up getting the Division too.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
It's out in an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's right. It's got that weird release schedule like Anthem did. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't.
I hate the staggered release.
Yeah. But anyway, you know what? I'll call up Division 2 gameplay on the chat window.
Yeah. That's it for what I've played though, Dan. I've been playing a lot of games recently, and I've been loving it because I feel like I go through walls up until about October, and then I'm like, oh man, the Thummies is coming up very soon, so that's when I play everything.
Oh yeah.
So, but right now, like I'm in a good spot where I've played the things that I really wanted to play so far.
Hmm. Whoops.
But,
all right, let me call this up real quick.
looking at it, I don't know what the next game I'm getting is. So that's another reason why I might get the Division 2. Because I'm not really interested in Mortal Kombat. I'm kind of interested in Sekiro, but I also know I probably won't like it.
Right.
It's a Souls game.
Yeah.
So the only way I play that is if Eric gets it digitally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Then you can just play it.
I don't know if you will though.
Okay. All right. Let's get into feedback, shall we?
Yep.
Looks like we got 3 feedbacks. So the first is from Eric, who's in the chat. It's for Eric, not Eric. He says, "Hey guys, been a while since I've written in. I usually just text Will to make fun of the Leafs instead of doing it so publicly. Anyway, video games. I've mostly just been playing Civ 6 again, but a little city builder game called Dawn of Man came out recently, and it sucked quite a bit of my time. It's in a similar vein as Banished, but you're in charge of a Stone Age society and bring them through the ages into the Iron Age. If you enjoyed Banished, I would definitely suggest it. It's a lot of fun to watch your people try to bring down a woolly mammoth with just wooden spears. For other media, it's just been Game of Thrones for Colleen and hockey most nights for me. I know the Bolts are trying to set all sorts of historic records and stuff, but I swear now I'm just paranoid that Vasi or Kucherov are going to get injured right before the playoffs. See Bishop, Stamkos, Johnson, Callahan, etc. I wince every time I see someone crash our net. I guess I won the game giveaway the other episode, but I'll pass on those. Not enough princess soundtracks for my liking. Tito can have my pick if he wants it. Hope you're all having a great week thus far. Eric." So thanks, Eric. Civ 6, I played a little Civ 6 a couple weeks ago, and oh god, that game's so good.
Yeah,
I really want to
get back into it.
I want to get the expansions. I don't know when I will, but at some point. But it's so good, so good.
Yeah, I want to finish my game with Corey and then get a podcast game going too.
Yeah, I would like to do that also, because I have it on the upstairs computer now, so it's easier for me to play.
You have more chances to play it.
Yeah. Dawn of Man. I'm not familiar with that, but I will have to look into it.
I've seen it on, I think it's on Steam. I've seen it on there. It's one of those games that caught my eye, but I added it to my wish list, and that's that.
Okay. Yeah. That's one Corey might be interested in too, because I know Corey played Banished. Did you play Banished, Will? I know Corey did.
I have never played it though.
Okay. Game of Thrones. Yep, me and my wife are finishing up our last Game of Thrones watch through. We're towards the end of season 6, and then we just have season 7 to get caught up on before the episodes start. Actually, it's a month. It's a month from today. Holy crap, that's exciting. 1 month.
Coming up.
Yeah, it's bittersweet though, because after it's over, I don't know. There's nothing to live for, right? Not really, but just joking.
I'm trying to think of what's coming out in the near future for you, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I like Game of Thrones so much that it's gonna be hard when it's over. I'll have the books to look forward to, I guess.
That's true, yeah.
So, oh, Reefer says Gathering Storm adds a lot of great stuff that just feels polished. Flavor stuff like name deserts and mountain ranges and rivers. So that's cool. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Hockey for me has been frustrating and disappointing.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah, Will feels the frustration, so
I don't get how you can look so bad in the same game and then look so dominant in the. How do you have 30 shots in a period, Dan? Have you seen that ever?
No, but that was Nashville against the Ducks the other night. In the third period, the shots were like 20-2.
Yeah.
Nashville scored 2 goals and controlled the entire period. Like,
yeah.
Why didn't you start off that way?
Do you think Laviolette's losing the room a little bit?
I don't think so. I just think, I don't know. They're in a slump. Goaltending's not been good. They're getting in their heads a little bit about all of it. The power play's been bad all year.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Hopefully they right the ship. Although I'm not confident.
Not looking bright for our teams in the first round.
No. But at the very least, I know St. Louis hasn't looked great the past few games, and Winnipeg continues to look bad. So,
yeah,
that's good at least.
Go Arizona.
Yeah. So that was from Eric. The next is from Tate, who says, "I hope you're all having a good week so far. A couple things. First, what are some games that you can remember, RPGs most likely, that you were actually really sad when the game was over? So for nostalgic reasons, you went back to old areas and reminisced about the things you did in that place and longed to be there doing those things again. Mine would have to be The Witcher 3. Once I beat the game and all the DLC, I went back to White Orchard and I went to the field by the windmill where Geralt, and Vesemir slayed the first big monster in the game, which was a griffin. I sat and thought about that from Geralt's perspective, then longed to be in that moment again for the first time, not knowing all the crazy adventures ahead. Now for a request. I know you guys mentioned doing this semi-recently, but I would love to hear an episode of an updated top 10 favorite characters in games list and why. There have been so many amazing characters in games since you guys did the first episode like that. I would be interested to see how much your top 10 lists have changed, or maybe it was top 5, I can't exactly remember. Anyways, I hope you all have a great weekend. Pod on, gents. Taterade out. Thanks, Tate.
Ooh, a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah. What games, RPG specifically, were you really sad when it was over?
So I actually get post-game depression pretty frequently.
Yeah, same here.
So, like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was probably the most recent game that I got sad when I beat. I remember being really sad when I finished Final Fantasy 15 too. I'm trying to think of all the games. There's a ton of games that I got really bummed out when I ended up beating. Those are the first two that popped in my head, though.
I actually had a friend back in the day that liked Final Fantasy 7 so much that he refused to beat it, and he would just walk around leveling up his characters. I think they were all level 99, and he still just would wander around and level up his characters. I don't know if he ever ended up beating it eventually, but he did not want to beat that game.
That's a real thing. People don't want to beat. I always bring this Kotaku article up as somebody refused to beat Journey because the person that he journeyed with the entire game wasn't there at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
it happens.
It does happen, and that's such a powerful moment that I feel like it really only gets captured in games. You know,
yeah.
Like I said, Game of Thrones, like I love it so much, but I don't love it so much that I don't want to see the end. You know.
Yeah.
I guess.
We're definitely not that type of person. I don't think to not beat something because we don't want it to end.
No, I like to see it through. You know.
Because we go back and play quite a bit.
Reefer says every Persona game.
Joker is coming to Smash this end of this month, early next month, and I really want to play Persona 5 because of it. Yeah. Just so I can see who it is, but I don't have a PlayStation. So.
Okay. For me, the most recent example of this, like you will, I get sad when I beat games. Also, I mean, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is one of those that I would like to go back and revisit again. But Breath of the Wild is a game that
Well, yeah.
I wish so hard that I could relive it for the first time again. The magic of discovering all those cool things and learning all the stuff that you do. It's all there's very few like skills. There's no leveling up. You don't increase your weapons. It's all like you getting better as a player.
Yeah.
And to go back and relearn all that or forget all that and start over fresh would be amazing. I would love to do that, but
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, definitely, Dan. I'm with you there. That's a prime example of it.
Reefer says Persona 5 is incredible, but he said it's probably coming to Switch. I've also heard those rumors. I hope they're true because I would love to play Persona 5. Or PC would be fine too.
Yeah. I also saw Castle Crashers is going to be coming to Switch.
Yeah. Everything should just come to Switch. If it'll run on the Switch, it should come to the Switch.
You better believe I'm going to buy Castle Crashers for the 4th time now on the Switch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any other RPGs you can think of that you'd like to revisit? Or that you longed to be there doing the things in the RPG again?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect is definitely one for me too.
One. Yeah. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim. There's a lot of games. Final Fantasy Tactics is another one. Although I was really young when I beat it the first time, so I didn't get that kind of like sadness that I do now when I.
Yeah, I think for me, Mass Effect is a big one only because things changed permanently. Like at the end of that game,
Yeah.
Things were changed. They were different. They were going to be different. It wasn't going back to the way things were. Everything was affected by the events of that game. So that's another one that I like to, go back and start over and see from the beginning and see how things were before the events of the end of the game.
Yeah, BioWare has not been the same since Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age Inquisition.
No, Dragon Age Inquisition was, at least for me, their last good game.
Yeah.
I liked Andromeda. I'm not gonna crap on Andromeda. It was fine. It was no original Mass Effect, but it was fine. Little too much busy work in that one. What's that?
I remember that's the next game I'm gonna play in my backlog. So I'm hoping it's okay.
Yeah. Do you have it on Xbox or PC?
Or Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It wasn't great, but I liked it.
I got it for like $12.
Oh, you can't beat that.
Yeah, a couple months back.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for the games that I could come up with.
Okay. So that was from Tate. So thank you, Tate. Oh wait, request. What was his request? Oh, we can definitely do an updated top 10 favorite characters. I know we kind of did that as a series a little bit where we talk about best characters, but we should do a list of our top 10 favorite characters, or 5. I don't remember what it was either.
It was 5 because I remember hating my list after.
Okay. It's one of those things too that probably changes based on how you're feeling at that very moment.
Yeah. As soon as we finished that episode that night, I remembered like 19 different characters that I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost hard to narrow it down to 5.
Yeah. That's why 10 would probably be better.
Yeah, maybe we would do 10. Okay. So Idaho Jake says Tokitora 2 plus is what I will take. I've been feeling too tired to play a game, so I bought an older Bowflex and been taking testosterone pills and creatine along with vitamins, and I've noticed tons more energy, so I plan on getting back to my gaming. Oh, Jake, in the name of the game. I love it.
That might be the best feedback we've ever gotten on the podcast.
That's
that
great.
Funny.
Testosterone and creatine and exercising so you have more energy to play games. I love it. That's fantastic.
Good work, Jake.
That's not a bad idea, though.
No, not at all.
Nice. I have nothing to add to that. That's perfect.
Make sure you take your creatine safely.
Yeah, don't overdo it on the creatine.
Yeah, don't OD on creatine.
What's that? What happens then?
Nothing. I don't think you can OD on creatine.
Okay.
It's just your cells are just gonna explode.
Beefcake, like Cartman.
Yeah. Yeah, you just retain a lot of water.
Oh God. Ugh.
Yeah.
That sounds painful. Okay.
You'll blow. That's about it.
All right, let's do our game giveaway. So Jake wants Toki-Tori 2. I will send that out. I've got to update again everyone's games and try to get stuff sent out in a timely fashion. Although you know how it goes here.
So one through 3, yeah.
Yep.
Random number generator.
Jake says one scoop after workout.
Yep. Jake's got it down. And the winner is number 2.
Number 2. That would be
Tate.
That's Tate, yep.
Tate, congrats.
Let's call up the list here. Reefer asks, new top 10 games next week. Yes, that is the episode. That'll be episode 400. All of us are going to be on. I think it's going to be Wednesday, too. I have to confirm with Corey, but I know Will preferred Wednesday. Eric said Wednesday was good for him, so I just have to confirm with Corey, and I'll let everyone know as soon as possible.
Yep, tune in Wednesday for it. I can tell people now that my list is changing quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if mine's changing quite a bit, but it's going to change. There will be some changes.
I think I'm going to have 4 new games in mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 3 or 4. All right, 1 through 150?
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Number 1's 117.
117. Bit Trip Runner.
Ooh. 75.
75. Is Devil Daggers.
Okay. 142.
142 is Broken Sword Director's Cut.
Lucky number 100.
Lucky number 100. Bold.
Whatever that is.
Yeah,
and 119.
119 is Sequence. I don't really know much about any of those games.
I think Bit Trip Runner is probably the best one out of all of them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard of at least.
And that's exactly why I said that.
The others not so much. So so yeah, your choices are, to reiterate, it was Bit Trip Runner. 75 was, where is it? Devil Daggers. 142 Broken Sword Director's Cut. Bold and Sequence. So let us know what you want, Tate. I'll send that to you. Jake, I will send out Toki-Tori tonight while I'm waiting for the episode to compress. So maybe I'll actually email everybody tonight and get the games out so they can be taken off the list too. We've got to start filling in those blanks.
I want to subscribe to the Humble monthly to bolster it and get some newer games in there.
Yeah. So, yes, next week is our top 10 games list, revisited. I'll probably just call it top 10 games like 4.0, depending on how many times we've done it. Because I don't want to put like 5 revisiteds in there, or however many it is.
You actually messed it up at the start of the other episode. 300. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Okay, you said I think you said 5 revisiteds.
Revisited.
Yeah, Eric corrected you.
However it works. But yeah, that's next week's episode. Like I said, the live stream will probably be Wednesday. So the episode will go up like Wednesday night, early Thursday. Just have to double check with Corey and confirm with him that Wednesday works. But yeah, that's going to be next week's episode. So it's nice to have that planned out. We don't have to worry about it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Schedule. No, I got nothing.
Okay. That'll do it for episode 399 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.